the consultancy, means training courses for the computerized system validations. So you can see the about the regulatory global compliance landscape for the across the, we can say, the about the pharma industry and all. So there is a lot of regulatory affairs like MHRA for the, we can say, the European Union, TGA for Australia, US FDA for the America, and the CDSCA for the India's. So there is a there are various regulatory departments, sorry, not department, it's like regulatory bodies who generally taken care of a compliance perspective into pharma industry. So we'll talk about first about the, we can say, the what is the regulated industry and why regulations are needed actually. So why we should have regulations to be implemented into pharma industry or maybe into clinical trial or medical industry actually. So just like a regulated industry is industry that is significantly regulated by state or a federal government. The Food and Drug Administration places regulation on pharmaceutical industry. Since the industry deals with the drugs and the healthcare devices, it makes sense that there are an array of rules and regulation on it. Generally, because they are going to be regulate the pharma industry or a clinical trial industry, so they have to prepare some kind of rules and regulations so that the pharma industry will follow these rules and regulations actually. Then, of course, it's just like life-saving drugs should have a highest quality safety and built into them. Must be effective. The regulations are there to minimize the risk to public health and safety. So ultimately, whatever the we see into regulations, so generally regulatory bodies prepare or create some regulations, and the every pharma industry or clinical trial industry has to follow these kind of regulations actually. Similarly, if we'll talk about the computer system validations, just give me a second here. So about the computer system validations, when we talk about the computer system validations, means there is a whenever we are going to implement an automation into our pharma industry. If I'm talking about the pharma industry, it will include the clinical trial as well as the medical device industry automatically. So when you are going to be shift your manual process to an automated process, so of course there is a need of a software, or we can say the ultimately a computerized system where you can automate your process actually. Am I audible to everyone or not?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay. So to use the software or to use the computerized system, you have to be validate those softwares or those computerized systems actually. So that as per this, so there is a various reasons to be validate. But why should we validate? We'll talk about into the next subsequent slides. But what we can say, the computerized system, what should it include actually? So what is validations? The FDA has defined the validation as establishing documented evidence which provide a high degree of assurance that a specific process will consistently produce a product meeting its predetermined specification and quality attributes as intended operation. So ultimately, what is the validations? First, we'll understand. Validations means we are going to be validate a particular process actually. Process. So just like if you'll talk about the into pharmaceutical industry about the tablet manufacturing process. So to produce the tablet manufacturing, you have to be validate the proper process actually. Means you have to be fix the recipe of a process. You have to fix the quantity of ingredient at what time I should add the ingredient, at what quantity I should add the ingredient. So each and every parameter should be fixed. Each and every quantity or ingredient should be fixed, and after that we can say the process is validated if we'll produce the same results again and again. So the first things, like you can see, the consistently produce a product meeting its predetermined specification and quality attributes. So ultimately, what is the validation? In a simple language, whenever you follow a same process with the same input, it will produce the same output again and again. Then we can say, yes, your process is validated. Okay. So why validation is required first, regarding the why should we have a validations. So if we'll talk about the computer systems, so first is like to prevent a software problem or a bugs. To prevent a bugs or to prevent a defect into a software. So this is the first prime validation requirement for the computer system. Second is to avoid a serious consequences that might arise due to incorrect software functioning in the productions. So because of a one single defect may impact on the process, and because of the impact on the process, it may impact on a means it may lead to a serious consequences actually. It may be like a patient may die and all. So because of your single defect into your software, it may lead to a serious consequences. Then of course it's like a regulatory requirement. So we have to perform a compressed system validations. If it is not the regulatory requirement, still we should follow the validation process for a compressed systems actually. Then finally, but not least, it gives us assurance that we can control the aspect of our operations that are critical to product quality, safety, and efficacy. So this is, we can say, the it is when I'm going to perform a validation, it will provide me assurance that if I use the software or if I use the same process, then it will provide me assurance that whenever I follow the software or the same process, it will give me a good quality product. It may provide a good efficacy product actually. So that is my main importance. Why should we have to have a validations actually? And to avoid a huge penalty from the regulatory bodies, which can lead to a job loss or a bankruptcy. So this may be a loss to a person who has did a mistake, as well as to the company actually if he has not did the validations of a computer systems. Definitely. Any questions? Okay. So when validation should be performed, so whatever the document should be generated actually, so you have to be have a uh, prepare a URS, prepare the functional specifications, do the risk assessment, do the design specifications, means prepare a design specification. If we'll talk about the how to initiate a project, so first you have to prepare a user requirement specifications to collect all the requirement that what kind of the software I should be have into my organizations actually. So you have to prepare a URS and send it out to a supplier, which is you have selected actually. So after reviewing the URS, the supplier will provide you functional specifications, design specifications, and the configuration specifications wherever required. And meanwhile, you can have a risk analysis. That is again like an important documents to be created where you have to identify all associated risks with the process, with the technical, with the business actually. Then finally, after preparation or building of a software, you can do the software testing and do the IQ, OQ, PQ, and release the software if testing is successfully actually. So CSV is a process that goes in parallel to SDLC. It starts with URS and with the go live actually. Validation is more about the specification risk analysis than about testing. So generally, if we'll talk about the SDLC, it's like a software development life cycle. For a software development life cycle, there is a various models like agile models. You have we can say the waterfall models and the V model. So there is a lot of models is available into SDLC. But if we'll talk about the CSV, so CSV is a one concept only. Whether you follow agile model or the V model, you can have a single concept, and by this concept, you can do the validation of your computerized systems actually. So who is responsible to perform a validation? So generally like prime responsibility of your system should be goes to a business user, means business system owner. That business system owner has to ensure that my system should be validated. If we'll talk about the computer system, so business system owner or a business user should be ensure that before using the software or systems, it should be validated actually. And whatever the stakeholders involved for a validation, so like a business owner, project sponsor, project manager, validation lead, and validation engineer, and of course like QA persons also has to be involved. So you can see the V model approach. Like you have to prepare a URS first, then prepare a FS, and after approval of FS, you can have a design specification and configuration specification. So under the small text, you can see what are the topics should be covered under the FS, like functional specification. It includes the all the functionality, then interface specifications. It includes the all interfaces with other systems, then business related functionality, regulatory specification, and security specifications. So based on the URS, the supplier has to prepare a FS, and once the FS will be approved, then you can prepare a DS or CS document. Once this document has been prepared and approved by the supplier, but approval should be always from the pharmaceutical industry who is going to be taking a software actually. So he will approve the CS and DS, then build the software. So now the vendor will build the software based on the design specifications, and after building of a software, he can perform a testing like IQ, OQ, and PQ. So that is, we can say, this is the V model approach actually, and you can see the arrow marks here. So if I'll perform the IQ, it should be verified against the design specifications. If I'll perform the OQ, it should be verified against the functional specifications. Same will be applicable for the PQ. It has to be verified against the requirement, whatever the requirement we have mentioned into the URS actually. Okay. So what are the topic we are going to be covered under the CSP? So we are going to be covered like what is the regulations, why they are required, what is the GXP assessment, what is the 21 CFR Part 11s, of course, EU Annex 11 as well. I think someone has some questions. Okay. I'll take all the questions at the last actually. Just I'll finish first all the slides, then I'll get back to you. Okay. Then, so what are the topics we are going to be covered? So like a 21 CFR Part 11, then the change management process into the pharmaceutical industry, then deviations or incident processes. So these are related to like a QMS part, while 21 CFR Part 11, EU Annex GXP assessment, these are going to be covered under the CSP approach. And the what is the GXP assessment? So under the GXP assessment, how we are going to be identify whether the my system falls under the GXP or non-GXP. So there is certain criteria by which we can understand that there is the system will fall under the GXP. Just like if you are going to be, your system is going to be handled the good clinical practices process, then we can say it's the GXP. Same will be applicable for the GLP, good laboratory practice, good manufacturing practice, and good documentation practice. So what happen, like a G means good and P means practice, while the X will represent like a C means clinical, laboratory, manufacturing, and their documentations, and maybe other things as well, like good pharmacovigilance practice, good clinical practices, and other we can say the other guidelines is also falls under the good practices actually. It will be replace the X with the particular characters actually. Then we can say yes, if it is follow or it followed the same the process for the good clinical practice, it is going to be automate the process for clinical research. Then your system become a GXP system actually. We'll talk more details into advanced classes what exactly we should consider under the GXP actually. Then okay. So you can see all the, this is what we call the GXP, like a good laboratory practice, good pharmacovigilance practice, good clinical practice, good publications practice, good manufacturing practice, and good distribution practice. So what is 21 CFR Part 11 and the GAM 5 guideline? So we'll discuss on the 21 CFR Part 11 guidelines. These guidelines is published by the US FDA. And when you are going to be have a when you are going to be have a, we can say the validation of a computerized system, then you have to be followed the 21 CFR Part 11. So this guideline is generally talks about the security aspects of a software, how you are going to be we can say the protect your software from unauthorized access. Second, it is we can say the it is more talk on the electronic record and electronic signatures. So what are the things to be covered under the electronic record and electronic signatures, how it is going to be protect from unauthorized access actually. We'll discuss into the advanced classes what are the 21 server part 11 says actually. So these are the some topics which is covered under the 21 server part 11, which are going to be covered all the topics as per the 21 server part 11. Then the advanced certification program of computer system validations will include all the topics which you are seeing currently on your screen. We are going to be cover each topic actually. Okay. Now we are going to be go towards the career opportunity, because ultimately if we are going to be learn about the computer system, then we have to be understand about the what is the career opportunity for a CSV persons. So to be a validations professional, you need to industry practice knowledge in computer system validation with certifications. So first I'll tell you means wherever the validation person is required. So first like a pharma industry, where they are going to purchase a software from the IT industry. So of course, pharma industry needs to a validation of a software. So validation person is definitely required into pharma industry. Second is for a medical device industry, like because medical device industry means like currently like MRI when you are going into the hospitalization, and then you have a MRI. So wherever the industry prepares this MRI, they also include like a software actually into the MRI. So this software also need to be validated as a computer system validation. So there is a requirement of validation person into medical device industry as well. Then clinical trial industry is also required a validation person. And the third industry that is itself like the IT industry, where they are going to be sell the softwares to these three industry. These three industry means pharma industry, medical device industry, and clinical trial industry. So they have to sell their software to these three industry. That's why they have to validate their softwares before selling a software actually. So there is a need of a validation person into four industry: IT industry, pharma industry, and medical device and clinical industry. So you know about the importance of we can say the pharma industry and IT industry in India. How many industries there into India itself? We are a hub actually into IT as well as into pharma. So definitely we require a CSV person in both the industry. Many CSV persons, the demand is very high, but the supply is very low actually. So that's why if you learn about the CSV, then you will definitely get a good job actually. So life cycle phases, we'll talk about the all the phases what we are going to be covered under the we can say the CSV approach into advanced classes. Okay, these are the documents we are going to be covered, that how we are going to be prepare this document. And this is regarding the lowest price of us in terms of a salary to a person actually. So if you'll talk about the particular yeah, sorry, my audio got disconnected actually. So when our starting point, like starting salary is 2.16 for a freshers, while it may be goes beyond the 25 to 75 lakhs. It may be more, actually depends on the your how much you can gain the understand the knowledge of a CSV actually. So that is the one thing actually for a career growth actually. Then job perspective, the entry level job for a CSV trainer is the validation engineer. Then with experience of 2 to 3 years, one will become a validation consultant. With an overall of 7 to 10 years experience in this position, individual can easily become a validation lead based on the organization structures actually. And the pay scales, you can see the pay scales of a freshers and the after 5 years and after the 10 years of a industrial experience. That is the in terms of a per month actually. I think it is a very less we are showing here. It may be much more than it has been shown here actually. And these are the we can say the our contact address. You can contact on these particular numbers and get you registered as soon as possible. So thank you for that. Now we'll talk on the questions. If anybody has any questions, let us know. So anybody have any questions? Anyone? I think some person says questions. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we have like the live projects on this computer validation.
Mm-hmm. Light?
We come across this. Hello.
Can you speak loud?
During the teaching process, can we? Hello. Is it audible to you, sir?
Yeah, I'm listening. Just go ahead.
So we can so practices. Can we practice on live projects or like only the demo class will be?
No, this is the demo class. Once you'll get registered, we'll go and understand about the how to prepare a URS, how to prepare a validation plan, and how to have like other documentations actually. So each and every aspect we are going to be covered. So don't worry about the practical knowledge actually.
So in brochure they mentioned that we have like internship like something. So what exactly can you explain about the internship about that?
Internship means what exactly we can say? Yeah, I think you are saying something.
Nothing. Only the
Arjun?
demo.
Arjun sir. Okay, no. Yeah, go ahead.
What like the internship, right? We have some positions available with our clients who are in need of computer system validation resources. So as soon as we get the responses from them, you can go and join as an intern. But intern is applicable only for the recent pass outs. Like I mean 2018, 19, and 20, not the other people.
Good. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Amit.
Yeah, is it going to be a weekend class, weekend session, or how's that? The schedule will be weekend only?
So it is currently like weekdays from Monday to Friday. If Arjun sir will have a weekend classes, then it's depend on them actually. If we have a available
As
candidate.
of now, it's planned for weekdays. Weekends, we don't have that many resources, and also the participants who wanted to take the training only. So we will continue for the weekday program where 1 hour is only we will utilize your time.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Anybody?
So when will be the classes starting?
We will publish. You have to fill the training application form, and based on the other people confirmation and trainers availability, we will publish the schedule by tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Is there any like any certification from your side or like?
Yeah. There will be an assessment, and after the clearing the assessment, you will get the certificate numbers, and the certificate will be applicable to all the industries. Like wherever you go to the industry, you can publish the certificate and get the knowledge shared, whatever you have learned here.
Okay. Is there required any practical knowledge like something like systems or like?
We will train you. The sir will train you. Our sir will completely train you from scratch. You have to just spend the 45 days duration, learn whatever sir is training you. Okay.
So this is
And after
Corona time.
that,
Yeah. This is Corona time, right? We can't come to the lab. Is there any requirement of lab?
No. We are for CSV. It's kind of a like desk job. Okay, so we don't have to come to our office. So everything we will teach in the Zoom sessions, like how we are dealing the session today.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for this.
How many days this course is? Means number of days. How many days it will continue? Will be for 45 days or how?
It may be depends on the course duration. It means will generally it's like 1.5 months the course durations, if course topic will not cover, we'll go extend beyond to that as well actually. Okay, means it is not depend on the time, but it depend on the course subject actually.
Mhm.
Okay.
I guess we are good, sir. I think these are the only questions. So I have shared the link for the training application form. Just fill it up and then our team will give you a call back and complete the registration process. Thanks a lot, Avnish, sir, for taking this session, and thank you guys for
Yeah,
attending the session. I
thank-
think Dinkar has some questions.
Dinkar,
So Dinkar, can
yeah,
you just chat? Yeah.
Thank you so much for the sir.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, Dinkar, are you saying something?
I think Dinkar does
Yeah,
not have mic. Dinkar, can you just give
and
us a call back directly? I can able to answer your question.
Hi, Shiksha is there. Can you tell me, is it a full online course or how come? Because we are in Bangalore, so and we are doing the
Yeah,
jobs
it's an
also.
online
So
program.
okay,
It's
so
an
there is
online
no
program for
campus visit
working
or
with
nothing is required, correct?
Correct, correct.
Okay. And any fee applicability and all details?
Yeah, once you fill the training application form, we will publish all those details in your email and then you can discuss with our counselor.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I think we're good to wind off this session for now,
yeah,
sir. Let's
sure.
connect on Monday onwards. Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Okay then. Thanks. Bye bye.
Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.